Nothing. Do we have anything here? Nothing. 3 volts. Something's not right here. It's possible I got this dim bulb wired wrong because I did rewire that. Let's see what I got. No, 90 volts. That's working right. I just damaged my speaker. Yeah, everything's working right. Okay, why isn't that on? So instead of doing this with power, I'm going to troubleshoot it just ohming out through these switches and make sure it's going where it's supposed to go. Okay, I think I may have found my problem. I was tracing through on the schematic from down in this area. Traced everything through because I wasn't really getting the heater elements lighting up like it should. Traced it through to here, and the issue I ran into was actually up in this area off of this potentiometer, which is right here. That's the volume knob on the top there. The 2 outside and the center conductor. The center conductor is this. And the only thing it should have going to it is this capacitor, which then goes up to pin 6, and this resistor of the detector tube, B4. Actually, so that's the center tap. So I do have that capacitor on here, but I actually had this resistor going there too. And that resistor is right here, and that you can see that's connected. Both resistors are connected to the outside edge of the potentiometer, not the center conductor. So the 470 then comes down and connects to a 2.2 meg and the 100 microfarad capacitor, which now I have that. It's right here, or it was actually soldered here, which is the same point. There's a wire going over here. So the 470 is going there. The 270 ohm resistor comes up and goes to pin 7, which is one side of the element of that tube. And so that's what that's doing now. It was there. It was the 470 that was wrong. The 470 was actually over in the center tap. The 470 was actually not connected here. It was connected here, which brought that down to here, which killed any output from there. So I think that's all there is to it. There could be other problems where I miswired something, but I'm gonna go ahead and connect it up to power, and we'll see if it's working now. I actually went back and looked on my video, and you can see up in this area, this is the potentiometer, 2 outside connectors, and the center tap. You can see these 2 resistors right here are actually going to the one on the right side, not the center tap. So that helped identify what my issue was there too. And that was one of the first things I did when I changed a few of these caps right there, is replace 2 resistors that were out of spec. The rest of the resistors I checked were not in bad shape. They were well within spec, so I didn't really replace any. So it was an operator error. So hopefully we'll get her working now and get it put back together. Okay, now we'll go ahead and hook the speaker up. And we need the antenna hooked up. Okay, it's on. Let's crank down. Let's go ahead and plugged into isolation transformer. Let's go ahead and start firing it up. See what our voltage is. 42 volts. Let's crank it on up. Because this one tube here, the 117, is going to drop 117 volts across it. So the other tubes won't get enough to light the elements if I don't get it up to 115 to 120 volts. And right now we're about 118 volts. Oh. Well, we got some noise. That's better than nothing. Hey, that's good news.
Everything works for good for those who love him. Then everything.
Okay, that's all that it was.
It's going to be good and going to.
It was exciting.
Okay, so now I think what I need to do is finish cleaning up this chassis, clean the condenser coil, lube it, clean the potentiometer, and lube the other tuning coil adjustment. Clean the chassis up, and also I need to fix the speaker because I did put a tear in that, so I need to fix that. And then we'll see about putting it together and see what it sounds like in the case. Okay, now we'll get a little oil. Put that in these bearings. Put a little on these. Put a little lube on the tuning knob. Make sure that turns freely. And a little bit right here on the volume knob. Okay, now we'll get a little of the tuner spray and just lightly spray these the contact cleaner, and lightly spray, get it down in the pins of the tubes so we get good connections there. And wipe the excess off. Okay, so now I think it's time to replace this power cord, and I also want to add a little inline fuse in case anything goes wrong with it. It'll blow the fuse before it burns anything else out in the chassis. I have some of this nice old style braided cord that we can put in there, and I've got some plugs here, replacement plug for the end too. We'll put that in there. Okay, I put a 1.5 amp fuse in this little fuse holder here, going to this leg, and tied a knot here, so the other one's soldered over to here, so it should be good. We'll give it a test before we put it in the case. Okay, we're going to put this little piece of this is a used dryer sheet, so it doesn't have the softener on it anymore. We're going to use that over top of that crack, and that should do the trick for fixing this speaker. There, now we'll let that set up for a little bit. Okay, we're ready to start putting the radio in, but we have to put these knobs on. And I had to fix one of them here. That's this one, I believe. Yes, it is. So we will get that on. We'll have to adjust the height. Because it needs to fit through the slots on the front here. So this radio actually mounts in, tubes out, and this is a shield that goes on here like this. And the speaker sits down against this. So let's get the other knob on. See if we can get this lined up on there. So if it's like that, let's take a look at those knobs. And these need to solder onto here yet. The white one solders on the bottom right here, and this brown one will solder right up here. This hatch has a locking mechanism in it, which is this. This is what pushes down on this if you're in battery. In other words, you put the cord, you coil the cord up inside, and when you close the lid, this is in the right position. When you're using AC power, you're going to run this out the side into here, and that is going to push that open. So it won't push down on here, and it'll be 110. So that's what we're going to work with. This cord's a little big. Okay. Now let's get this closed. I still need to find a leather strap, and I'm thinking either a leather belt or a leather dog collar that I can put in here. I don't have these actually attached in there yet, but I'll do that when I get the leather collar. And like I said before, this used to have a little roll top mechanism, little wood roll top that matched these lines, and it would roll down over top of this and roll back up. But this one is missing, and it's somewhat complicated to make, and the radio's not worth all that much money to do that, so we'll just go with it the way that it is, and we'll give it a try and see what it sounds like here. Okay, so I think I'm going to try to do an alignment. I have the alignment instructions, and I also have this other page that shows what all the adjustments are, the variable, the IF coils and the RF coil, and these three along the cap, which are right along here, these three on the capacitor, and there's one more in here. So I've got the signal generator. Let's turn this on frequency so we can verify this is hooked to there, and this is my output meter, basically the scope. Adjust the intermediate frequency amplifier transformer trimmers for maximum meter deflection in the following order. That's C18, C17, which are right here and here, then C16 and C15, which are here. This one first, second, third, and fourth for maximum output. So let's see what we get. That made an improvement there. we got that part set up. Set the generator and receiver to 1600 kilocycles. That's 1.6 meg. So that's going to go to C, and we go up to 1.6 meg. Okay, 1.6 megacycles. And this band needs to go and it says to adjust C12. That's this one right here. Let me turn the volume up higher. Okay. C8 and C5 are these two. Did I miss C10? Oh, yes, after that I did C12. Now adjust the signal generator for 580 kilocycles. Let's back down to A. Right in there. And adjust this. And adjust C10, which is the small capacitor in here. I think that's about it. Now adjust it. Adjust it for 1500 kc. And adjust C8, which are going to be these two. I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference there. Okay, we'll disconnect that, turn this off, and we'll give that a try. It was off a little bit, so we'll see if that helped any.
Whether you're celebrating another Rockies win or just spicing up your game day grub, flavor favors the bold.
Springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage is available online.
Hear it in the KLTV listening audience every Sunday afternoon from 2 o'clock. The Pirates are 2 out of 3 on this weekend, and
Duck 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 800-287-6691. That's 800-287-6691.
play a 1-2-3 on 3 ground ball outs for Ryan Feltner in this third inning. Ryan went in.